मङ्गलं भगवान् वीरो मङ्गलं गौतमो गणी मङ्गलं कुन्दकुन्दार्यो जैनधर्मोऽस्तु मङ्गलम् सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं सर्वकल्याणकारकम् प्रधानं सर्वधर्माणां जैनं जयतु शासनम् जैनं जयतु शासनम्. Jai Jinendra, everyone. So everyone's back from holidays. Schools have started for some, and for some they're starting next week, right? Excellent. From next Sunday, we will have class at 7:30. Okay, my apologies for today because I've booked my diary according to the past week. This will be our last week where we'll still have class every day, okay? Because we are completing with Vitarag Vigyan 3 for the holiday batch. But for those who've just joined, tell me one thing, because you've had a big gap. Do you want me to go right over the basics, right from Balbodh once, or start from Vitarag Vigyan 1? I'll leave it to you all. So if everyone can turn your videos on. So I know Avi, Amishi, Arvi, Arhan, some of you used to attend class over the holidays. Okay. And I understand that most of you all were on holidays that time. So quick one. Or do you want me to do one thing? We'll revise in half the class and then we'll move forward in half the class. What works best with you? Put your hands up and you can talk. Unmute and talk. Bolo bolo. No one wants to talk. Yes, Zoe. This is your time.
Can
Yeah,
we revise and then
we
maybe at the end like learn?
Oh
right.
yeah, could
Okay,
you do like 30
no
minutes
problem.
revision?
Yeah. And anyone else who wants to say? Yes, Zoe, thank you for that. Anyone else? Your feedback. This is about you, okay? You are the most important person here. That's why I'm asking for feedback from you. Amishi, are you okay with the pace that we were going on in the holidays? Is it too hard for you?
No, it was a pretty good pace. Like I was able to understand and like remember everything we were doing.
All
There
right.
wasn't too much.
Oh, good, good. What about Prasu, Kavya, Arvi? Are y'all okay if I do a quick revision today? Everyone unmute.
It's fine. Yeah, I'm good.
Can
It's
we do
fine?
a
All right.
revision?
We will do a revision. Yes, let me share my screen and we take it from there. Let's do a revision right from the top. Some of y'all might find it a bit boring, but believe me, a revision is really important at all times. Okay? Chapter Namokar Mantra, we all said the Namokar Mantra. Whom are we bowing down to? You're bowing down to the five Parmeshtis. Who can tell me the salient features about the five Parmeshtis? Arihant, Siddhs, Acharya, Upadhyay, Sadhus. Now you just have to show me with your fingers. Arihants have destroyed how many karmas? Arihants have destroyed four karmas and they are called Char Ghatiya karmas. Okay. Siddhas have destroyed all their eight karmas. Arihantas are in sansar. Arihants have a body like you and me. That's why they're also called Sakal. Kal is the body. Okay. Here, kal does not mean tomorrow. Kal school jana hai. That's not what the kal here means. Sakal is the body. The ones who are with the body are Arihants, and ones who are without the body are Dash. Bolo. Quick, quick.
Sids.
Siddhs. What does the word Parameshti mean? Param is supreme and Ishta is the ones who are very, very important, the ones who are very, very special for us, जो हमें अच्छे लगते हैं, जो सच्चे होते हैं. Okay? So amongst all the mantras, Namokar mantra is the most important one because they say it can destroy all the sins. And when we say Eso Panchanamo Yaro Sava Pavapanasano, Sabhi Papon ka Nash karta hai. Out of the past, the present, and the future, कौन से पापों का नाश करता है नमोकार मंत्र? Come on, unmute and talk quickly.
Present.
Just the present. Because when we are saying the Namokar mantra, you're not doing any pap, you're not doing any kashai, you're peaceful and calm, and you're focusing on the five Parmeshtis who are peaceful and calm, embraced, engrossed in their own soul. So we get inspired. तो जब हम नमोकार मंत्र बोलते हैं, वर्तमान means present में कोई पाप नहीं करते हैं. That's why it's called Savapavapanasana. When you're not doing any pap right now, what are you doing? You're doing punya, right? And is doing punya the intention behind Namokar mantra? You remember we had seen three bhavs. One is Ashubh bhav, like pap. Second is Shubh bhav. And what was the best one? The most supreme one. Anyone remember what was the best one? Bolo, unmute karo. Shuddh bhav, that is the purest bhav, is to be in one soul. So that is the entire intention behind saying Namokar mantra. We bow down to the supremes. Namo is to bow down, and Parmeshtis are the five supremes. Why do we bow down to them? Because we want to become like them. Okay, we are inspired by them. Do you all remember three words I had said? Um, and by the way, you all are most welcome to take notes. Okay, take keynotes, make diagrams out of it, make flow charts so you remember. Okay, what are the three most important points? So we are through the Namokar mantra. First one, I would like everyone to write this. We are showing our devotion to the five Parmeshtis. Namo is namaskar. When you bow down, you're letting go of your ego. You're believing that someone else is better than me. Okay, first is devotion. Second, when you see the five Parmeshtis, aren't we inspired to be like them? So, devotion, inspiration, and third most important one, when you bow down to the five Parmeshtis, when you are inspired by them, and really the fruit of saying Namokar mantra is when you follow their path. So the third is transformation. That's exactly why we should be saying the Namokar mantra. Otherwise, it's merely just lip sync. It's just lip service you're doing every day. You're on autopilot, you're just saying it, you don't know what it means. But now that y'all have, been learning for a while, we must learn to go deep. Okay, what is very special about Namokar mantra? First, इसमें किसी person को worship नहीं किया. There is no person worship. Okay, no specific person is worshipped. But however, their good or the qualities or attributes are worshipped. Attributes of whom? The five Parmeshtis are worshipped here. Next one. Are we seeking, are we expecting any material pleasures by saying the Namokar mantra? Bhagwan mujhe rich kar do. I'm very sick. No, I'm very sick. Do you think Bhagwan will heal you if you're saying the Namokar mantra? No. But when you're saying the Namokar mantra, you're not doing any pap. And it could be a possibility that your past pap, they can interchange and become into punya. Yes, Kavya. Bolo beta.
What was the third point?
So the first one is you're not worshiping any specific person. It's not person worship. Second one, you're bowing down to their qualities. Third, you have no material expectations from Bhagwan. You're not doing it as trading for someone, okay, as trading for something.
First one was devotion, the second one was inspiration.
Third one was transformation. Write this in big bold letters every time you think of the Namokar mantra, every time you say the Namokar mantra. First, I'm bowing down, I'm devoting myself to the Bhagwans. Second, I'm looking at Bhagwan, I'm being inspired by them. Say you're going to school and you're in your car and you don't have Bhagwan's Murti in front of you. Yet, I would like everyone to close your eyes now for 5 seconds and imagine of Arihanta Bhagwan and open your eyes. Could you see Arihant Bhagwan in front of you? Yes, of course, we can, right? So we get inspired by even their physical appearance, by their statue, by their murti. Okay, we stop doing whatever they're doing, whatever we are doing, we become like them, we engross in our soul. So that's inspiration. And transformation is we follow all the teachings of Bhagwan. Okay, so we are not bowing down to any particular person. We are praying to everyone in the supreme states who resides in that state, and most importantly is we are following their path. So Panch Parmeshtis, since when have they been here? They've been there since Anadikal, since eternity. And that's why Namokar mantra is also said Anadi Ananta. So then next question. Do you know who wrote the Namokar mantra in this Kal for the first time? Where was it written? It was written by Acharya Pushpadanta. Write this down. Acharya Pushpadanta and Acharya Bhutbali. Where was it written? In the first ever scripture that was written called Shat Khanda Gam. Okay, and it's written as the Mangalacharan of that scripture. So the Mangalacharan is like the first namaskar you do before writing any shastra. That is Mangalacharan. All right. Any questions
Who
about
is
the
it?
Namokar mantra? Yes,
Who is it
Abhishek.
written by?
Acharya Pushpadanta and Acharya Bhutbali. Okay, now right after our class, I'll be sending y'all some flow charts which have been done by kids. Some of them might be in Hindi, but y'all make your own flow chart about all about Namokar mantra like that. Okay, Arihants destroyed 4 karmas, Siddha destroyed all the 8 karmas. Arihants are Sakal Paramatma with a body, Arihants are Sansari, Siddhas are Mukta, Acharyas are leaders of the Muni Sangh, Upadhyayas are teachers of the Muni Sangh, and sadhus are followers on the path of moksha, or like their students. Right? Any question here so far? Any question? Yes, Kavya, bolo.
What scripture was it written in?
Sorry, can you speak a bit loudly,
What
beta?
scripture was it written in?
Okay, Shat, S-H-A-T. Shat is 6 in Prakrit. Khanda, K-H-A-N-D, and Agam. It's one word together. Shatkhand-A-A-G-A-M. Shat Khandagam is the name of that scripture. Okay, now let's go forward. So by meditating on our, can you all see my screen? Sorry, let me. Kundari. Okay, by meditating on our soul, one becomes a Parmeshti. So, next question you might have is, so how do I become a Parmeshti? Too simple, by meditating upon your pure soul. Okay, taking shelter in my own soul means taking shelter of 5 Parmeshtis. Going to the temple, saying Namokar mantra will give you its best fruit only when you take refuge in your own soul. You realize that I'm a pure soul, just like Bhagwan. Bhagwan got engrossed in his own soul, so I will get engrossed in mine. Knowing, understanding your soul. So, first is you must know that I am a pure soul. Second, understanding how is the soul. The soul is different from the body. The body is seen, can be touched, it has a smell. The soul is formless, and most importantly, experiencing that I am a soul. Meditating on yourself is actually taking shelter in our soul, and that leads to eternal happiness. Tell me one thing, just merely going to the temple and offering, Jal, Chandan, Akshat, will that give you eternal happiness? It'll keep you happy and calm while you're in the temple. But for how long can you do puja? Like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours? Know anyone who's done puja for 6 hours? I'm sure not. But because after that you will get tired, you want to come home, you want to have your food, you're very, very hungry. And then sometimes you can get angry. So, did Bhagwan teach you to get angry? Were you eternally happy? No. But when we reside in our soul, it is the purest place to be. Okay? So, taking shelter in our soul means taking shelter, means meditating on our soul is taking shelter of our soul. Okay? Chali. Next chapter, Jiva Ji. Very simple chapter. So one who knows, one who has consciousness, one who has knowledge, जिसमें ज्ञान है, जिसमें दर्शन है. I would request, right now, today we'll do a few chapters. I would request at least one of y'all to like each one of you to take notes, make notes for a chapter, and then share it on the group. Okay. So who wants to share the notes about Namokar mantra? Jaldi se batao. Amishi, will you do that for Namokar mantra?
Okay, but I don't know if I got all the points that you wanted me to get.
Okay. I've already shared the book on the group. If I've missed out anything, you can just write it down from the book. Avi,
All right.
can you take the Jeev notes? Okay, write it down or you can type it. You know, the best, it's very short and it doesn't have to be big sentences, just short dot points. Okay, bullet points. Avi Jeev के लिए आप ले लो बेटा. ठीक है?
I can
So,
take the next chapter if you want.
thank you, Kavya. Much adore that. The one who knows, who has knowledge, जिसमें ज्ञान है, जिसमें दर्शन है, जिसमें consciousness है. So write all these points, okay? ज्ञान, दर्शन, consciousness is chetana. And the next point is the one who experiences happiness and sadness. Like you, I, the elephant, all birds, the cat, dog, everyone is Jeev. Whereas one who does not know, whoever lacks knowledge is non-living or a Jeev. Okay? Just like the Jeev experiences happiness, pain, and pleasure, the Ajeev does not. Okay? And all around us, just glance around your home right now. Everything that you see is Ajeev, right? Now, whatever is outside, like the iPad, the Mac, the phone, everything is Ajeev. But eyes, ears, nose, and other parts of the body, guess what? They also are Ajeev. Okay? So only Jeev knows and sees through the five senses, and it is the Jeev who experiences the happiness and the sadness. That's why a body without a soul, say I die and there's my dead body lying here. Can that dead body teach someone? Can it feel the pain? Tell me one thing. When we die, the body is burnt, or some people will cremate the body, right? Uh, they'll put it in the soil. Do you think the body feels the pain when it's being cremated, burnt? Does it
No.
feel pain? Definitely not, because the soul is the one who feels it, and the soul has left the body already. So Jeev is also called Atma. Atma does not have touch, taste, smell, and color. Okay? It is formless. That's why it takes the shape of the body it lives in. Just like, say there's a glass of water. Okay? You pour the water in a plate and the water sprints. You pour the water in a jug and the water will take the shape of the jug. Similarly, the soul takes the shape of the body it enters. You become a Dev in the next birth and you are going to be massive. Your soul particles are going to expand and become a Dev. Say someone becomes an ant, the soul particles will contract. Someone becomes a dinosaur, elephant, it'll expand. So the soul takes the shape of the body that it lives in. In the Siddha state, when the soul destroys all its karmas, the size of the soul is just slightly lesser than the last body. Okay? So, so what do you think? Which gati would someone be in before going to moksha? हाँ बोलो कोई भी
Anush.
बोलो. Definitely in Manushya Gati, right? So, in whatever position they went to moksha, so there's only two positions, okay? One is Padmasan, where you're squatting and your right hand is over the left hand, and the other is Khadgasan, where you're standing with your hands by your body. Have you all seen both the two mudras, Padmasan and Khadgasan? Do you know what I mean? Yes? Or I'll show you all pictures about so these are the only two types of murtis that you will see in a temple. Either Bhagwan is standing, hands by his side, or the Bhagwan is sitting with crossed legs, right hand over the left hand. And where's he looking? Nasagra Drushti. He looks only at the tip of his nose. Okay, so that's the Siddha Bhagwan state. The bodiless Atma means the Siddha Bhagwan, the Nikal Paramatma. This is found only in the liberated state. Whereas everyone in Sansar is with a body. Okay, so Jeev has two states. One is liberated and the other is non-liberated, Sansari and Mukta. Liberation is only possible by understanding the true nature of things, okay, just as they are. So, in order to go to moksha, we must know the real nature of Jeev and we must also know the real nature of Ajeev. Because without knowing both, how will you differentiate between the Jeev and the Ajeev? All right, any doubts here? Okay, by the way, does anyone think I'm going too fast? Because I'm just doing a revision. But do you all think I'm going too fast? Bolo? Everyone's able to take notes?
Fine.
All right, thank you. And let me know whenever you have a question, you can stop and just put your hand up. Shall let us continue then. So after Panchaparmeshti, we saw Jeev and Ajeev. Why did we see right after the Panchaparmeshtis? Why is that sequence? Because so we go down to the five Parmeshtis, and then it's important to realize who am I, and it's important to realize who am I not. So I am the body. No, I am the soul. I've been thinking I'm the body, but now I realize I'm the soul, and I realize the difference between both. The thing that has touch, taste, can be seen and can be smelled, that is matter, that is the body. And the one who's the knower and seer, the one who feels pain and pleasure, is the soul. The in sansar, there's two types of jeeves, sansari and mukta. Sansari are all the jeeves in sansar, and mukta are the jeeves who are free from karmas. Arihant bhi sansari hote. What is the difference between you and me and arihanta? Do you think there's any difference? Bolo. Arihants are also sansari. They are not mukta. But what is the difference between arihants
Um,
and
the Arihant have destroyed 4 of their karmas.
they have destroyed their karmas and they're not taking any future births. So every arihanta is definitely becoming a siddha. Okay. One more point to focus on during the to understand the Namokar mantra. Amishi, you might want to write this. Out of the five Parmeshtis, the first two are called devs. अरिहंत और सिद्ध इनको देव बोलते हैं. देव गति के देव नहीं, but भगवान इनको बोलते हैं. And you all remember what was the meaning of भगवान? Bha plus ga. Bha means anand, happiness, bliss. Ga is gyan. So जिसमें आनंद है और ज्ञान है, and one is who have that. Okay, जैसे धनवान, ज्ञानवान. So those who possess happiness as well as Gyan are called Bhagwan. So Aryant or Siddha Dev कहलाते हैं. Acharya Upadhyay Sadhu are also called Gurus. So दो देव और तीन गुरु है हमारे पंच परमेष्टि में. चलिए, we've learned about Jeev and Ajeev, we learned about Sansari and Mukta, and Arihants are Sansari, but they are special Sansari Jeevs because their Sansar is coming to an end very soon. All arihants will definitely become siddhas in the same birth. Okay, on the path of moksha marg, Amishi, you might want to write this also. What is the first step that you will have to take to embark on the path of moksha? You'll have to become a sadhu. Okay, you'll have to become a sadhu, and then Acharya Upadhyaya is optional. Only sadhus will become arihants. Only arihants will become siddhas. All right, let's go to the third chapter. And Kavya, you were going to take notes on this. Bhagwan. Okay, I've already told you the meaning of the word Bhagavan. Bha yani sukh or ananda plus ga is gyan and one is the ones who possess that. So the ones who possess sukh plus gyan is Bhagwan. What are other names for Bhagwan? Arihant, Jin, Paramatma, Kevali, Tirthankar. All these are names for Bhagwan. Who it becomes a Bhagwan? Who has that salient feature? What are the salient features? Two of them. V for Vitaragi, V for victorious. If you have to be victorious in life, you have to become supremely detached, matlab Vitaragi. And Sarvagya is omniscient, all knowing. Okay? And how many how many people can become Bhagwan? Infinite. So that there's already infinite, that means you and I can also become Bhagwan. Okay? What do? They are knowers of their own soul. Bhagwan, they're always absorbed in their own soul. They don't laugh or cry. They're never hungry or tired or sleepy or happy or sad. Okay, Kavya, make sure you write all this. They never kill or save. They're never sick. They don't even take birth, and neither do they die. How does someone become Bhagwan? Would be the next question. By remaining engrossed in their own soul, by meditating upon their soul. Okay, so Jin means Jin or Jinendra. Jin is the victorious ones who have conquered. Indriya means the ones who have conquered the five senses and mind. They are called Jin, and they do not possess any vibrations in the soul, which is called Yog. That's why they are called, they possess the vibration of the soul. That's why they are called Sayogi Jan. Okay, Arihants are called Sayogi. And since they've attained Keval Gyan, they're called Kevalis. So see how many names have we found? Arihanta. Does anyone know the meaning of the word Arahanta? Okay, write down these three words. Amishi, maybe do you have a pen and paper, or maybe on your device you can take notes? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
telling you all three words. Arihanta. Ari is destroyer. Ari is enemies and Hanta is destroyer. So destroyer of their enemies is called Arihanta. What are the enemies here? Not external enemies, but our Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh. All the enemies that are within, the jealousy that is within us. Okay? So the one who destroys their inner enemies is called Arihanta. Then comes the word Arahanta. All there's three words I'm going to tell you. All three can be used interchangeably. So Arahanta. Hanta means destroyed, it stays the same. And Ara means the ones who are worshipped by the gods, the heavenly gods. देव गति के देव इंद्र नरेंद्र आकर जिनकी पूजा करते हैं. So the ones worshipped by the heavenly gods means Arahanta. We saw Arihanta, destroyer of all sins. We saw Arahanta, the ones who are worshipped by the heavenly gods. Okay? And the third one is Aruhanta. Hanta is again destroyed, and Aru is the seed of Sansar. So that means the seed of Sansar, the birth and the death has been destroyed. They are Aruhants. Okay? So we saw Arahanta, Arihanta, Aruhanta. Then Jina is the victorious ones who are winners. Paramatma, the supreme, and Atma is soul. Kevali is omniscient. Tirthankar. Does anyone know the meaning of the word Tirth? Tirna.
No.
Do you know what swimming is? Tirna. In Hindi, swimming ko kehte hain terna. Okay? Does any of you do swimming classes? Do you have swimming at school? I'm sure yes. Right? So to swim across. Now, where are the Tirthankars swimming across? They have swum across this ocean of birth and death. So Tirtha Karoti Tirthankar, the ones who are a Tirtha, the ones who've shown us the path of getting across, swimming across the ocean of Sansar, they are called Tirthankars. So they themselves have done it and then they have shown us the path. Okay, then Vitaragi, Vit matlab beet gaya, which has, they are supremely detached. They no more have any rag, and that means they don't have dvesh as well. Sarvagya is omniscient. They don't have 18 faults in them. Vitaragi जिनको कहते हैं उनमें 18 faults नहीं होते हैं. I had taught you all this once before. Does anyone remember? Janma jara trishak shudha. Does anyone remember? Janma is birth, jara is death, trusha is thirst, shudha is hunger, vismay is surprise. Kavya, are you writing this, beta? Vismay is surprise, arath is dislike, khed is grief, rog is disease, shok is unhappiness, mother is pride, bhay is fear, nidra is sleep, chinta is anxiety, and swed is sweat. Yes, Kavya. Bolo beta.
I can't catch all of this, so can you go a little slower?
I'll write, these are 18 of them. I'll write them and I'll send it to you. Okay? So don't worry about these, but they're free from 18 faults. That's what you can include. And I'll send the 18 faults on the group. Okay? So Keval Gyan is omniscience. Who are Keval Gyanis? The ones who know the past, present, and future of all the substances in this world, and they know it simultaneously. Like how we know the present, we know the past, we don't know the future, but they know everything simultaneously. They are called Keval Gyanis. A living being becomes a Bhagwan when he destroys the cycle of birth and death. So, the Bhagwan, any Bhagwan is never reborn. So, what is Jainism? It's the art of becoming a perfected soul. Your parents like you all to be perfect in everything, right? In Sansar, do you think you can perfect everything? You can become a doctor and a pilot, maybe a surgeon. You can become a mathematician. Everything together. Can you? Can you excel in sport and music and academics and everything in the world together?
No.
That's close to impossible, isn't it? However, what you can perfect is the pure state of the soul. That is the quest, and that is the only goal of Jainism. Every Jain should aim to become the best version of himself or herself. Okay, so that was the chapter of Tirthankar and Bhagwan. Sorry, the chapter of Bhagwan. Now let's come to Tirthankar. So we saw here that Bhagwans are also called Tirthankars. So, who are Tirthankars? The one who give us the teaching of Dharma Tirtha. And we saw the meaning of Tirtha from where we can swim across the ocean of birth and death. Okay, so who's taking the notes for the fourth chapter? Anyone? Quickly. I would like you all to step up for leadership roles.
I can't.
Thank you, Zoe. Thank you very much. So, Tirthankars, and I will send this PDF. So, if anyone has missed out on anything, you will add it to your list, okay? And make sure you type it and send it because not everyone's handwriting is legible enough. So, the ones who give us Upadesh or teachings of the path of liberation. That is called Dharma Tirtha. Okay, first they teach us the path of liberation. Second, they have a Samav Sharan. Third, they have a special type of Punya called Tirthankar Nam Karma. And fourth one, they have Kalyanak Mahotsavs. They have 5 auspicious celebrations in their life. They are called Arihants. So, धर्म तीर्थ का उपदेश देते हैं, जिन्हें समवशरण विभूति होती है, जिन्हें एक स्पेशल पुण्य होता है, तीर्थंकर नाम कर्म, and the fourth one, they have special celebrations called Kalyanaks. Okay, now Arihant Tirthankars, they have 46 special characteristics or gun. Out of the 46, 4 are called Ananta Chatushtai. Chatu is 4, Ananta is infinite. What are they? When you destroy the 4 Ghatiya karmas, the 4 qualities are attained. Ananta Darshan, Ananta Gyan, Ananta Sukh, and Ananta Virya. They are the 4 internal guns and the 42 external guns. Okay? 10 related to the birth, 10 related to Keval Gyan, 10, these are superpowers done by the Devs, the heavenly gods, and they have 8 auspicious symbols or emblems. That's called Art Pratiharya. Do you have to learn this by heart? Definitely not. It's just to be known. Okay? Now, where you and I live in Bharat Kshetra, there's 24 Tirthankars. Okay? However, there is a place called Videha Kshetra where you and I cannot go. And there's always, at any time, there's 20 Tirthankars. Do we have Tirthankars here right now? In the US, can you, on your holiday, can you go and see a real Samav Sharan?
No.
We aren't that lucky. So in where you and I live, Bharat Kshetra, only in the fourth kal, 4th era, there are 24 Tirthankars. However, in Vidya Kshetra, there's 20 Tirthankars at all times. All Tirthankar statues, they are similar to one another, but what is different is they are symbols. And do you know how they get their symbols? Does anyone know? Tirthankar के symbol कैसा होता है? बोलो. Okay. Yes, Amishi.
A question, not about like the symbols, but you said that in the Vidya Kshetra there's 20 Tirthankars and that we can't go there because we're in the Bharat Kshetra. But like
Yeah.
in our different lives, do we like is our soul present there?
Oh, yes, yes. So you can take birth there. What I meant by right now, physically, like you can go from one state to the other. You can go from the northern to the southern hemisphere. You can come to Australia. I can go to the US. But none of us can go from Bharat Kshetra to Videha Kshetra in this birth. In different births, you definitely can. Good question. All right. So, all Tirthankars, they look similar, but they have a symbol. And when the baby Balak Tirthankar is born, on his right toe, big toe, there's a symbol. And Indra sees that symbol and he says this is, whichever Tirthankar. The one who has a symbol of a bull is Rishabdev. That's how they're named. Okay. Now this is a very important thing. So you might want to write this. All Tirthankars are Bhagwan, but all Bhagwans are not Tirthankars. Okay? All Tirthankars give Upadesh, they preach the Dharma Tirtha in the Samavsharan. Okay? And there's only Tirthankars who have these 5 auspicious celebrations in their life. You and I have birthdays, but Tirthankar's birth is very, very special because it's their last birth. Okay? And Tirthankar Bhagwans, they do not liberate others from the world. So Bhagwan, what does Bhagwan do? He meditates on his own soul. Bhagwan did not tell us, you hold my hand and then I'll take you to moksha. No. Bhagwan said, I'm working on myself and you work on your soul. So they do not help others in sadhana, but they just show us the path. So they're like one bright light. That's why it said, Bhagwan or Keval Gyan is more powerful than 100 suns together. Like it'll enlighten so many people. Okay? And Tirthankar Bhagwan, they never kill enemies of their followers to make their followers free of any miseries. So they are never happy with someone and they are never against someone. They will not do something for you. They will not do something against you. So next time someone tells you, look, if you don't pray to this Bhagwan, no, tumhara acha nahi hoga. You won't get good marks. You must go to this special temple and do what everyone else is doing there. And if you go to see in that temple, the sort of Bhagwan which is there, it's like a round stone which has some color, orange or yellow color on it. And then people will fear you, saying that if you go here, you will become very, very happy. If you don't go here, you might lose your wealth or your health. Or when you're unwell, if there's some people who are very, very unwell, and then they are told you go to this place and then offer this to Bhagwan and ask this to Bhagwan and your wish will be fulfilled. But that's not true. Bhagwan does not do anything good or bad to us. They are not happy for their friends, or neither they get unhappy and curse their enemies. They are always in samta bhav. This is very important, okay? And the upadesh, the preachings which the Arihants give us, that is without any desire. Guess what? In the Samavsharam, they don't even want to teach anyone. But because it is that Tirthankar Prakriti Uday, they don't even talk with their mouths. From their entire body, the sound of Om emanates from their entire body. And that's how the Bhavya Jeev, they are inspired to learn from Bhagwan and follow their path. So this was about Tirthankars. Okay, there's 24 Tirthankars here in Bharat Kshetra. And in Vidya Kshetra, how many were there? Do you all remember? In Vidya Kshetra, 20 Tirthankars. Good. Next chapter is Samavsharan. So we saw Tirthankars. So the first line we saw is Tirthankars teach the path of liberation. And where do they teach? It's the grand pavilion called the Samavsharan. Okay, so the place where they deliver their sermons is called the Samavsharan. Who creates the Samavsharan? It's the heavenly god called Swadharma Indra. He is very powerful. So he is the one who commands the treasurer, the Kuber, to create the Samavsharan with his superpowers called Vikriya Riddhi. Riddhis are these superpowers. And Vikriya is they can transform anything into anything else. Okay, they can create this big castle in a split second. Yes, Avi? Bola beta.
I have a question. So,
Yes?
do Bhagwans have a symbol?
No, Bhagwans don't. Only Tirthankars have a symbol. Okay? Yeah. Who's taking the notes for Samavsharan? So we had Amishi who was taking for the first chapter. Second chapter kaun le raha tha? Avi? Avi Chivaji was it? Yeah. And then we had Kavya for the third chapter, Zoe for the fourth. Who's taking notes for the fifth chapter? Prasuk? Aap logi beta? Are you there, Prasuk? Now, how do I get to see you all if you turn your videos on? Okay, Meher, do you want to do it? Would you be happy to do it? Okay, Meher the fifth and Neve the sixth. Be ready, Neve. Okay? Chali, Prasuk and others, please turn your videos on. Chali, we'll do only 6 chapters. We'll do half of the first book today. Okay? So, Meher, this is for you. I'm just repeating it. Tirthankars deliver their Samavsharans, deliver their Divya Dhvani in Samavsharans. Okay? And Swadharma Indra commands the Kuber to create the Samavsharan. How does he do it? With his special powers called Vikriya. What is the shape of a Samavsharan? It's round. It's got 20,000 steps in all the 4 directions. Okay? So no matter where you're coming from, which direction, you can enter the Samavsharan because it's got 20,000 steps. But guess what? You don't have to climb the steps. You stand on the first step and it's like an escalator. You reach the last. Samavsharan. Now, it's a very, very huge thing. So it's got 4 courts, 4 different areas, 5 levels, 8 different lands. Okay? And there's partitions between these. And in every partition, there's 3 different levels. It's called Teen Peet. Okay? The last land, it's got 16 walls and 12 chambers. It's called Bara Sabha. And it's these where the Gandhars, the Muniraj, the Devis, Arika, Shravikas, and all the Devs sit down. Okay? And the Manushya and Tiryan. So in a round manner, everyone has their own designated spaces to sit. And the Gandhakuti is the place where Bhagwan sits. Okay? And it's high up in the air. The place in the center of the Bhagwan is Gandhakuti. In the central portion of the Gandhakuti, there is a throne. There is a golden throne along with the peat on which Bhagwan sits. But Bhagwan is floating in the air. He's 4 fingers above the seat. When you sit on your chair right now, we're all sitting on the chair, right? Can anyone float over their chair? No, but Bhagwan's body is so light. His body is different from your and mine. Okay, so he's floating. The first 7 lands, now Samavsharan is a very interesting place because it's got gardens. Pushpa is flower, flower gardens. It's got Vapi is a lake. It's got Chaitya Vrikshas, beautiful trees, Natyashalas, auditoriums in which the heavenly goddesses are performing. And guess what? It's not just the Samyak Drishti Jeev or the Bhavya Jeevs who will go to moksha, enter the Samavsharan. There's a lot of Mithya Drishti or the ones with wrong belief, Abhavya Jeevs also who enter the Samavsharan. However, only the Bhavya Jeevs who like the soul, who want to know about how to become Bhagwan, they are the ones who go inside to the Samavsharan. They'll go up where Bhagwan is sitting. Rest everyone is interested in movies and dances and beautiful trees and flowers and fruits. They get lost in the five sense pleasures. But very few reach where Bhagwan is sitting and listen to Bhagwan's Bani. Okay? So what do you think if you had a chance to go to the Samavsharan? Would you reach up where Bhagwan is or get engrossed in all the beautiful things down there? What would you do? Bolo? Bolo, bolo. What would you do?
Go
Okay,
to
we'll do up if you go up this, and if you'll stay down. We'll stick to this one. Just show me with your fingers. Everyone, quickly.
you'll go up.
Definitely we'll go up. Okay. Now let's do the last chapter for today, which is Divya Dhwani. Now we saw Tirthankar, we saw Bhagwan, then we saw Tirthankar. We saw Tirthankars have a Samavsharan, and in the Samavsharan, Bhagwan's Div. So what happens in the Samavsharan? It's the place where Bhagwan's Divya Dhwani is started. Okay. It emanates from the entire body. So I think Neve is going to do this chapter, right? Neve, is that right? Neve?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good, excellent. So the Upadesh given by a Tirthankar is called Divya Dhwani, the teachings of the Tirthankar. According to Jain beliefs, a special sound called Om comes from the entire Tirthankar's body. In the Divya Dhwani, there's no words which Bhagwan is saying, which Tirthankar Prabhu says. It only comes in the form of Om. Only one alphabet. It's called Ek Akshari or Nir Akshari. Okay? And Bhagwan gives that teaching or preaching without any efforts. And Bhagwan's mouth is closed when he is teaching. And neither are his jaws or his lips or his tongue moving. What even is taught in the Divya Dhwani? The five astikai, the five existents, the six dravyas, the seven tattvas, the eight karmas, the nine padarth, all that is explained in the Divya Dhwani. So we'll go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? And like the raindrops falling from the sky look alike, but when they fall on the ground, they look different. Like when a raindrop, it falls. Yes, Amishi?
So like during the Divya Dhwani, the Bhagwan does like technically say everything, but do all the Jeeves like completely understand what they're saying? Like do they understand the meaning of it and completely like know what it's all about?
Great question. And that's exactly what I was going to come to. Just like it rains from the sky, but that rain, when it falls on a rose plant, the rose will bloom, right? When it falls on a, Karela, a bitter gourd plant, the bitter gourd, it emerges in the form of bitter gourd. On a mango plant, a mango will come, right? So every plant, according to its own potential, will give rise to it, right? तो पानी तो वही था एक करेले में how come the karela became bitter? That water was not bitter. And how come the mango became sweet? So just like the raindrops fall from the sky, they all look similar. But wherever they fall, they all look different. They all take different forms. Like that, Tirthankar's words, sorry, Tirthankar words, they all are just Om, Om, Om. Yet, when every living soul who hears it understands according to their own potential, and all their doubts are clarified. If I had a doubt, if is the soul the body, then I will understand that. If Meher's doubt was that who are the five Parmeshtis, then she gets her answer. So every living soul gets answers to their questions in their own way. Okay? Right? So all Tirthankar's words are the same when they occur in the Sabha, and all Jeeves, they understand the meaning in their own language. So animals, even animals are in the Samavsharan. Animals don't understand A, B, C, D, O, I, E like you and me, but they understand the meaning, the crux of it, why we should be, kind to each other, why compassion or karuna or ahimsa is the highest core of all religions. Okay. Now, do you know, it's not written here, but do you know in how many languages is the Divya Dhwani can be heard by others? So 18 main languages and 700 divisions of languages. So 18 bhasha and 700 mahabhasha. Okay. How many times in a day is Bhagwan saying Om throughout the day? No. Only 3 times in a day. And once when he says, it goes on for 2 hours and 24 minutes. Once. So total for 7 hours and 12 minutes a day. Everyone who goes there gets to listen to Bhagwan's Divya Dhwani. Okay. Divya Dhwani is also called Pravachan. Pra is pure and Vachan is words. Whoever hears these words becomes the pure soul themselves. And Tirthankars, they do not wishfully give this preaching and they don't even want to speak. They don't want to influence anyone. But whoever hears they are preaching, they get influenced and they follow the path. Yes, Zoe. Bolo beta.
I just had a question. So if
Yeah.
an animal like needs meat to survive, is it pop if you feed the animal meat?
Good question. Now, the Bhavya Jeev who enters the Samashana and goes up there, okay, their feelings would become so pure that they would give up eating the meat anyways. Okay, and if I don't eat meat, okay, this is a very good question. Before that, I'll answer that. Before that, have you taken notes for this chapter 6? Okay, the only thing that I said here, Neve, was differently. In addition, was the Divya Dhwani can be heard in 18 main is interpreted in 18 main languages and 700 sub languages. Okay, all right. Chaliye. Now coming to Zoe's question. So, if would any of you take poison? It's very, very sweet. You get the sweetest poison at a local mithai shop, you know, where you get your laddus and pedas and barfis. Would any of you go and buy that?
No.
Definitely not. Okay, you're not buying it for yourself. Would you buy it for your friend? You're going for your friend's birthday. Would you take a little bottle of that or a little dabba of that mithai in the bestest packing, you know, the most precious packing? No, what we won't do for ourselves, you wouldn't do unto others, right, Zoe? So we wouldn't. If I know that eating something is going to harm me, would I give that to someone else? No. Like that, if I don't eat meat, can I ever give it to someone else? No matter how hungry they are. Would you do that? No. Okay. So anyone who enters the Samavcharan and goes up there, now there's even alligators, there's even crocodiles in the Samavcharan. Would you believe? But down there in, you know, where all those lakes and everything are. Okay. But the ones who go up there and listen to Bhagwan's Divya Dhwani, all of them have very, very mild passions. उनमें हिंसा, झूठ, चोरी, कुशील, परिग्रह, पाप कोई नहीं करता है. Because when you see Bhagwan's grandeur, now do you think, Meher, I'll come to you in a second, huh? Do you think कोई मंदिर में जाता होगा and thinking of eating meat in the mandir, thinking of hunting? Does any one of you on Sundays go to the temple and later go fishing then?
No.
Forget on Sundays. Does any one of you ever think about, oh, I'm missing out on fishing? All my other friends are fishing. आपको लगता है कभी ऐसे? No, because your parents have given you the purest of thoughts already because you're born in a Jain family. Right, Zoe? तो ऐसे ही जो लोग वहां पर जाते हैं उनके thoughts बहुत प्योर हो जाते हैं. And then they don't have these हिंसा के भाव, you know, भाव of violence. All right? Yes, yes, Meher, आपका question था बेटा.
So like once, yeah, like kind of like Zoe. So once my friend like fed this other dog meat, even though she was vegetarian, and she said it was okay because like all that like that dog like I don't think she said that that dog only eats meat. So like
Right. Now see, just like the dog. Bolo, you want to say something? You want to finish, Meher?
no, I didn't. That was
All
it.
right. Just like some dogs the breed is such that most dogs are carnivores for that matter. Just like, will you ever find a lion जो दूध और रोटी खाता है, जो दाल रोटी खाता है? Wouldn't be possible, right? So, you know why someone becomes carnivorous animals? In their past bhav, they've done lots of krodh and very intense kashai. That's why you become a carnivorous animal. Why does someone become a lion or tiger or leopard versus someone becomes a cow or a goat? Herbivores, because they have very mild passions. Okay? And why have you and I become humans? There's so many humans who eat meat, who gamble, who will do all pop, but we don't even dare to do it. In fact, कोई किसी को मीट खिला रहा है तो हमको डर लगता है. You don't like it, right? You don't like sitting with someone who is eating meat. Would you like to sit with someone and eat your own sandwich or dal roti? No, you wouldn't feel comfortable, right? Because you feel the pain of how that jeep would have been killed. That's how compassionate we are, and we are blessed. You are blessed by your parents. We are all blessed by our Tirthankars to have that compassion in our hearts. Yes, Zoe? So Meher, first is that's why we shouldn't have pets. But I actually have a friend who has a dog, and he is fully herbivorous. Like he eats only vegetarian food. And guess what? But this is very, very rare. Guess what? I have a cousin in India, and they have a dog, and that dog fasts on every Ashtami and Chaturdashi. That dog eats only roti and milk, and they actually have a temple in their house. They have a shrine. Okay. And every single day, the dog is not allowed inside the temple, but he's outside and he bows down. And he was not a pet dog. They did not get the dog, but they are doctors, like the family. And this dog, on one rainy day, he was a very small puppy, and someone had abandoned him, like probably his mom abandoned him. And he was found close to their garage, and because it was raining, their watchman just brought him inside and kept him nice and warm because he was a baby. And that hospital was a baby's hospital, it was a pediatric hospital. So the watchman just thought, let's take care of this dog. And that dog never left from there. So he was so lucky to come to a Jain family that which has a temple. So they never wanted to keep a pet, but they were gifted a pet. It could be that in their last birth, the pet was related to them, right? So imagine, how does a dog know that it's Ashtami Chaturdashi? There's no calendars, but the dog just knows it. So every once a week, the dog will not eat or drink anything for the day. Yes, Amishi.
Well, the case that you told is like pretty rare, and I find that really astonishing and nice. But
Isn't
like
it?
a long time ago, like I did like a gen class, right? And so this question about like pets had come up, and so basically it was like if you like adopted it and it used to eat meat before, right? And then you adopt it, and since we're Gen, we probably wouldn't feed it any meat, right? So if we were to feed it like dal and roti or like whatever, something that we can feed dogs as vegetarian, wouldn't
Yeah.
like the dog, it was that the dog didn't feel happy or like it really got upset because it wanted to eat the things that we weren't feeding it. And so wouldn't that pop be on us?
Definitely would be, and that's why the main thing is we should never have a pet. The dog is much more comfortable in its own family, in the wild or with its own litter, where its own. When the dog is born, like here for those who have pets, they have to go to this to the pet shop, and there one dog gives birth to many others, and just after their birth they're separated from their mom, just so that they can be sold as a pet to someone. So isn't that hinsa? Okay, so just like you wouldn't like your baby to be separated from you, similar with the dog's mom. And plus, we focus as Jains, we focus on vitaragta, so no attachment. They say we should not be attached to our parents, brothers, sisters. And then where comes this dog from nowhere? There comes this dog, We are trying to reduce our attachment to our family members, and then steps this dog. And everyone loves that dog, and he becomes the apple of everyone's eye. So the more the rag, the more the sansar, the more the pain. Okay, because remember, when we don't understand the dog's language, if the dog is sick, you're feeding the dog, jalebi and gulab jamun, and poor dog, it's not good for him. Okay, so different breeds of dog need different food, and they're all mainly carnivores. There's only very rare stories where something like that would happen. Okay, like a dog is a herbivore from birth, but otherwise, that's how the breed is. So we must acknowledge that and not hate someone who has a pet, but as giants, we should stay away from doing more rag and dvesh, right? And care for the family members you have rather than, adding more to it and doing more rag, right? So we've covered the first 6 chapters today. I'm hoping over the next 1 hour or so, you all can put your notes down. Kavya, I'll send you the Atra Dosh also in the group. Yes, bolo beta.
I only had 2 questions.
Hmm.
Like I have all my points down, but I didn't like catch the meaning of Arahant and Aruhant.
All right, Amishi will do that because the three Arahant, Arihant, Aruhant. I'll repeat that. This is not just for Amishi, Kavya, for everyone. And the reason I'm telling each one of you to take notes is that Kavya's notes, when she shares on the group, everyone will have those notes. So isn't that cool? Okay, so you can collaborate. Arihant, the Hant is destroy. Ari is enemies. So we don't mean external enemies, but inner enemies of anger, pride, deceit, greed, Kashai. Arahanta is Ara is heavenly gods. The ones who are worshipped by heavenly gods are called Arahanta. And Aruhanta, Aru is the seed of birth and death is destroyed. They are called Aruhanta. Okay?
So
Check.
for Arahant I put destroyer of all sins. So like what do I put for like Arahant and Aruhant?
Okay. Aruhanta is destroy the seeds of birth and death, is Aruhanta. So Hanta is this destroyer, and Aru is the seed of birth and death. The seed of life and death is Aruhanta. Arahanta is the ones who are worshipped by the heavenly gods. Okay? Chaliye. Was that too much of a rapid revision? Like too much bombardment on your little brains? Or was it okay? I can see Prasuk is already tired. Prasuk, are you very jet lagged also? You've just come back from India?
I came back like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, did you? I haven't seen you in classes then. You were
No,
probably just
last time we had to go out somewhere and
all
then
right. That's totally fine.
yeah.
That's totally fine. All right. So everyone, please send your notes and we will take it from there. I hope everyone is enjoying learning right from scratch. Okay. Um, so we'll build up the basics in the next couple of weeks. So we'll do our Agam Pravesh, we'll do our Vitarag Vigyan, and then we'll start Tattva Gyan Pathmala. Yes, Avika? Bolo beta.
Do we still have the weekend class or the weekdays classes?
This will be our last week for weekday classes. So anyone who hasn't started school can finish, we'll aim to finish the Vitarag Vigyan 3. So the ones who haven't started school, please join. But next Sunday onwards, we'll continue with our regular classes. Okay, so next Sunday will be our regular class. So last week of the weekday classes. All right? चलिए निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है वंदना शत बार है जय जिनेन्द्र सभी को